And do you think the current monetary policies are sustainable? Do you
Yep.
think we are heading towards more significant challenges within the economy?
Okay, so this is just a belief system. I don't have a glass ball. This is just what I believe based on me listening to roughly about 20 to 30 famous economists around the world for the last 8 years. Is I believe we're going to go through what we call hyperinflation. If you look at what inflation was over 2021 and 2022, it's just because they printed $1.1 trillion, which was planned in 2020. They did that, right, to make us poorer. That is the design, is to make us poorer, I believe, so that we are then reliant on their system, and then we're forced onto their controlled digital currency, and that we're relying on them, aka the government, aka the bigger people, to control us and tell us what to do, because we're like fucking hanging off them like bloody life support. I believe that there is hyperinflation. I don't know when it's going to happen. Think of it as like every single time they print money, it's like a band-aid on top of an infection. It's getting worse and worse and worse, and they need to put more on, because every single, let's just say, politician, they're like, well, we're not going to let it crash on my dime, so we're just going to print more over this, and then the infection just gets worse. And then what will happen is eventually we'll hit this hyperinflationary period where it'll be so painful. Like, it'll probably be, for as an example, $300 to buy a loaf of bread. However, it'll be a short amount of time, and I don't believe we're going to feel it as hard in Australia to compare to other countries. And then what will happen is there'll be short window. Will that window be 1 week, 1 month, 1 year, I don't know, of hyperinflation, where then all debt will be fucking wiped out, and then we'll be forced onto the new digital currency. And then at that point in time, that it'll be so much more difficult to have to live the life that we've lived for the last 40 or 50 years. So what that actually looks like is, I think it'll be rare to know an Aussie friend who can afford to go on a trip to Bali. I think it'll be common to have multiple families living under one roof just to survive. That'll become the new normal. Yeah, that it'll be normal for most people just as a basic to have a full-time job plus a part-time job per person and or a business on the side just to keep afloat.